Hi fellow traders, I hope everybody had a great holiday, great Christmas. Mine was just incredible up until yesterday. We pack up, head to the bowl game to watch my Gamecocks, and I've never seen a Gamecock lay an egg, but man, we laid several eggs. So it was a Christmas miracle that these Gamecocks laid the eggs that they laid. But, you know, hey, that's just part of the game. Just part of the game. They weren't prepared, and there's just no excuse for that. They just weren't prepared for the game. And, you know, UVA was prepared. But that's okay. I'm not going to cry about that anymore. But I do want to, before I get in too deep into this, I might forget. Every Sunday morning we do like a market strategy session / swing trade watch list session, and that's where I talk about what I saw in the market last week, all of the things that I'm looking for to happen this week, and it's really just a small group mentor session, you know, after that. So you guys that are members, please come and take advantage of it. You know, come take advantage of it. If you miss it, I do post the videos in the member video section every week. But this week, I am opening it up to everybody that wants to take a look at it. So if you're interested, I'm going to put the link in the description section of this video so you can go and check it out. But last week, I'm telling you, that was an amazing week last week. Now, I told you guys in this video last week, I told you guys there was only one thing that would bring me in the market. One thing that would bring me in, and that's if the market sold off. And damn it, that market didn't sell off. And I was like, I mean, I'm telling you, it blew my mind. And unfortunately, Monday was a travel day for me, so all I could do was hand my son the laptop. You know, he and I drove together because I had, you know, I couldn't leave when my wife left, and let him go to town. Now he got me some money on J&J. He was able to close that out for a really nice profit, and I couldn't put him on TVIX. He doesn't have the skills yet for that. But I was able to put him on Apple, and man, he nailed that all-day hold. I think him falling asleep, you know, for part of the trip kind of helped. You know, because it was an all-day hold, he was watching a 60-minute chart. And he's used to watching, you know, 1 minute, 2 minute, and 5 minute charts. This was the first time I had him on that 60-minute chart deal. So he was a little bored and a little concerned, but he brought it on home. But it was crazy. I mean, we had the worst Christmas Eve ever in the history of the market. And then we turned around on the day after Christmas and had the largest percent gain since 2009. What was it, March of 2009 or something? But, I mean, it was just an incredible week. Now, I made pretty good money on Monday. I lost almost $1,000 on Wednesday. There was a lot of issues. I mean, I didn't trade very well, but, you know, I didn't really handle the issues I had very well. So, you know, I had to eat that. You know, I was away with my family. We had, you know, up in the hills in North Carolina. And normally the internet's pretty good there. But for some reason today it was bad. And, you know, that sucked. But, I mean, this time it was bad, not today. But I dealt with it, I adapted. And we ended up making over $500 in a small account. You know, that's 10%. If I could make 10% a week in a small account, dude, you're going to grow, and you're going to grow out of that crappy broker that you're dealing with, in a small account, and you're going to make it to a traditional broker. You know, the thing is, don't change what you do. Just because you go to a different broker, you stick with what works. That's the key. You know, when I made that switch, the very first time I did it, dude, I crapped all over myself. Because I started changing what I did. I felt like a big man. Bumped my chest out. And, you know, that was not good. So make sure you stay with who you are. When you change, you keep doing it. As you add share size, you just grow it a little bit. That's all it takes. So, you know, that's my spiel on that. But an incredible week we had. I'm anxious to see what 2019 is going to bring for the market. But today, the question that we're going to address today in the Rollin With Ed segment is I get asked a lot about what's the best indicator for day trading. And you know, it's a good question, because a lot of new traders, when they come in, they get a little bit of education, they learn about the indicators, and they start looking for that holy grail indicator, the one that's just going to give them the edge and going to take them to the next level. And honestly, you're not going to find that. That's not what indicators are designed to do. You know, we as day traders, we have to make sometimes quick decisions. We may sit and watch a chart and then by the time it sets up, we have to make a quick move. And if we're sitting there looking at too many indicators, we can have what we call, what do you call it? Paralyzation by analysis. And, you know, we can't move. We can't jump in and make the trade. A paralysis by analysis, that's what it is. And, you know, we can't have that, guys. So you can't use too many indicators. And number one, indicators are quite simply, they're just manipulated volume and price. You know, these indicators, they take the volume and price, manipulate it a certain way, and plot it on a chart. So what that is going to give you data that's already happened. Okay? So indicators are lagging. All indicators are lagging. So for me, the best indicator to use is going to be your eyes. Your eyes are the best indicator, because what we're looking at on the chart is price action. Indicators are telling us what the price action did, or where the price action falls within specific data points to help us gain entry and exit. That's how we need to use this. We need to use it to help us with our entries and exits. Not, you know, something that's our holy grail, be all end all. It's just a tool that we use, something that we have in our toolbox. And we know that if we need specific tools for specific jobs, and we use the wrong tool the wrong way, we're gonna mess up. We're not gonna be able to complete that job. So indicators are like tools. And sometimes you have a lot of redundancy in indicators. So, you know, I've seen people that had the RSI, the MACD, and stochastics. Now, I'll have the RSI and MACD on my chart, but I know they're telling me the same thing. I already know. But I would not have stochastics on there and all of that stuff, because, I mean, wow. You know, just you have the same information. So for me, you know, you just want to make sure that you really understand the indicators that you use, and you're going to have to pick the one that fits your eye the best. If the RSI is simple and it fits your eye the best, then that's what you use. If the MACD with its pretty histogram and crossing lines, if that's something that can help you figure out oversold conditions or overbought conditions, then that's what you use. That's why I say trading is like an art form, because we all look at it differently. We're all going to see indicators in a different light. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, there's no one thing. There's no holy grail indicator other than your eyes, because your eyes allow you to see price action in real time. None of these indicators allow you to see price action in real time. Plus, another thing that happens is, damn, I must have missed a turn because I am too far. You know, another thing that happens is I completely forgot what I was going to say. I'll remember it and come back to it, I know. But using these indicators, your eyes, you have to learn how to read this price action. Okay, you have to learn how to read it real time. Indicators are going to tell you what's happened in the past. You can use that along with what you're seeing now to help predict where the stock market may be, or where the stock that you're trading may be, you know, 5 or 6 candles from now. That's going to allow you to trade and make profit. But you have to learn how to use your eyes and read price action. And it just takes time. It takes time. Now, one of the things that I like to call, indicators are training wheels. You know, we use these to help us see what's happened in the chart and what's likely to happen. Is training wheels. And, you know, eventually you take training wheels off. But in this case, you know, we have to keep, we try to keep these training wheels on, because, you know, you never know when you may need them. And I use them, you know, I use certain indicators and I stick to them. I use them, and what I've done is I put the ones on my chart that I know matter to my trading. And I may have 1 or 2 on there too many, because over time, and this is what I was going to say when I forgot, what these algorithms and, you know, a lot of these big time traders that have algorithmic traders or that have computer models, they base their algorithms off of these indicators. And they'll change the indicators around, because here's the thing, the market moves on imbalance. We know that. There has to be an imbalance for it to move. For it to go down, you've got to have more sellers than buyers. For it to go up, you got to have more buyers than sellers, so that it gets bought up at a higher price. And, you know, we know that. So whenever there's too much of an imbalance to one direction, and it happens consistently, these guys are going to change up their formula. Because like I told you, my job and what I want us to learn how to do, figure out what big money is doing and jump on there and jump on it. We need to be on their side of the imbalance. And what happens, too many people get on that one side of the imbalance and they know it, and then they switch it up. And then we have to adapt or adjust our strategies around how they switched it up, because they're using a different indicator. You know, case in point, VWAP 2 years ago was it. that was the holy grail. You could trade VWAP strategy day in and day out. You can't do that now. I mean, you can, but it's not going to be as successful because the market's not reacting to VWAP like it used to. And you could look at J&J last week, all last week. You can look at Apple all last week. It did not respect VWAP. Now, yeah, there are stocks, and it may be a grouping of stocks that will still respect VWAP, but I'm only speaking to the group that I trade. You know, we all have different stock groupings that we trade. Mine, they're not respecting VWAP. They haven't for a long time. There was a time where the 20 EMA was king, and it's not anymore. It went to the 50, and now, you know, it's moving. So, you know, the indicators we have to take with a grain of salt. We have to use them as a tool, and we have to use them correctly. And so my answer, I know this is a long, drawn-about answer, but I wanted to address everything. But my answer to, you know, what's the best indicator that to use as day traders, it's going to be our eyes. Our eyes are the best indicator. And that's what we need to rely on. And that's what I try to get through to you guys in chat every day. You know, the chat room, honestly, the chat room is the best classroom. All right? Best classroom. That's where the most learning takes place, because that's where the rubber meets the road. That's where we merge theory and put that theory into practice. And we know the challenge is not learning the theory behind trading. The challenge is applying those theories to the market, because what it takes to apply it has a lot to do with our emotions and our mental state and how we see things and how we interpret things. So, you know, that's my spiel for the day. Hopefully I didn't go too far or get too out of whack to where you don't really understand what I was saying. Sometimes I can do that. But just remember, the best indicators for a day trader is going to be your eyes. Any moving average, VWAP, RSI, MACD, whatever indicators you use, just make sure you use those tools properly. Understand what each one of them means. That's why in the day trading class, I break down each indicator I use and what it actually means. Because you got to understand that in order to be able to apply it and use the data from it to help you plan your entries and exits. So that's going to do it for me today. That's going to wrap it up. So I hope you guys have a great New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And, you know, the market will be open tomorrow. Again, I have no desire to trade anything unless this market starts to sell. If it's not going to sell, I don't want any part of it. I'll just wait till January 1st. January 2nd on Wednesday, and we'll start fresh. All right, guys, so I'll see you a little bit later on. Remember, if you want to check out our Sunday sessions, I will leave the link in the description of this video. So make sure you guys take it out. Stay safe. And if I don't see you until Wednesday, have a safe New Year's.